ESPN. Watch right now, or we'll sue you.
Well, the Patriots head to Mile High this week to take on Denver, fresh off a bye. New England 12-5 under Bill Belichick off the bye. They went 8 straight from 2003 to 2010, but are just 3-3 off the bye since 2011. After Tom Brady, he continues to beat back the all-time defeating champion of Father Time. He's on pace for 32 touchdown passes and over 5,000 passing yards. Those are unprecedented numbers for someone his age. And because the Pats have the utmost confidence in Brady, they cooked up a trade right before the deadline, shipping backup Jimmy Garoppolo off to San Francisco for a second-round pick. Now look, since Tom took over for Drew Bledsoe during the 2001 season, he's seen a parade of different guys as the backup in New England. It's a job that rarely leads to, playing time. Only Matt Castle starting more than 2 games for the Patriots in that time frame. But it still kind of plays a vital role in the Patriots machine. And as Matthew Hasselbeck tells us, it also provides an up-close and personal look at one of the greatest to ever play the position.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. I was in meeting with Bill O'Brien, who was the offensive coordinator at the time, in the quarterback room, and we're going over like the install or whatever, and the door opens up and it's Tom, and obviously, I knew who he was, and I stand up to introduce myself. He's like, "Hey, I'm Tom. It's just nice to meet you." It's like, yeah, no shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no crap. Like, I know who you are.
Since 2001, 14 different men have carried the clipboard for perhaps the best quarterback in NFL history. And Tom Brady has made an impression on every one of them.
My first week in the room with him, Josh is asking me questions about the film. He clicks one play. He goes, what's this play call? And I pause for literally a second, and Tom answered. And I got pissed, and I'm like, what the? Josh is like, you got to be that fast.
His car would always be first, and his car would be the last to leave, and you watch the film study, you watch how he did things, you watch the notes he took. Everything he did on a daily basis was about how he could win that game on Sunday.
Let's go! Famous for his sideline outbursts and fiery competitiveness on the field, it should come as no surprise that Brady loathes losing and keeps everyone on edge.
I would always be there during rookie minicamp and stuff when they weren't in the building. It would be super cold, so I would turn the thermometer up so I can warm up a little bit. One day, he came in the room, and we were watching film. He goes, "Who turned the thermometer up?" I go, "Oh, man, I kind of did when I was freezing." He goes, "Dude, I've been here for 17 years. I haven't touched that thermometer once, and you've been here for a week, and you're already touching the thermometer." I was like, "Oh, man, it's going to be a long year."
We were playing at Buffalo. For whatever reason, we couldn't fly back, so we had to stay then in Rochester. At some point, there's a chugging contest that starts. So it takes some coaxing, but we finally get him up there. And when I tell you that you couldn't have poured the beer out of the glass faster than he drank it, and of course, in his competitiveness, he drinks it, slams the glass on the table, and flexes, and everybody, the whole team is there, and everybody just loses it. The guys that were competing against him, I don't even know if they finished the beer. It was so fast.
It was actually at a charity basketball game. It was, East Walpole or something like that. About the third quarter, and we're losing to these middle-aged, overweight firemen. Tom Brady let us have it. Guys, we're not losing to the fire department. We're professional athletes. And sure enough, he starts knocking down this bank shot three-pointer. And I think we walked away with a victory that afternoon against a small-town Massachusetts fire department for charity. Tom was not going to let us lose.
During training camp, we would always, during special teams, we would work on our throwing with good arch on our deep balls. So we would throw into a trash can. Well, one day, I hit 3 in a row from 40 yards out, and I went up on him $5,000. And I could tell it drove him nuts. He said double or nothing. I'm like, all right, so I hit it again, and he says triple or nothing. So at that point, I was so far ahead of him, the rest of the year was a breeze. Even if he got a few on me, I was still always up. And by the end of the season, he hadn't paid me, and Bill O'Brien joked, he's like, he's never gonna pay you. He's just gonna keep the game going until he wins. So the following year, we're in the locker room before the game, and he sits down next to me and just hands me $5,000 in $20 bills. He finally admitted defeat.
With as many as 5 of Brady's sideline soldiers potentially seeing action this year, it's clear that while daunting, backing up number 12 can teach you a lot.
He allows to be coached and to be coached hard. And I think it permeates to the whole team. I know I'm fortunate to have that experience behind him and learn from him. That just mindset of you can't take any breaks once you step into this facility, especially at the quarterback position.
That's why they win. They understand that if they want to be a part of this thing, they better do their job, they better know their role, and no one defines your role better than Bill Belichick. And he made me feel like I was the most important backup quarterback on the planet.
I never felt dumb asking him a question. He would always explain things to me. Had I gone somewhere else and played with somebody else and didn't learn from him, I wouldn't have been able to be prepared to play when my time was called.
Clearly, Brian Hoyer did that interview before he knew he was going back to New England. When we come back, hey, it's a law. If you talk Boston, you have to talk New York sports. Aaron Judge is here. And yeah, I know he's a baseball player, but he's kind of a big deal. We're going to talk to him.